going to say, do you have any political opinions on that situation of everything costing more?
I always have political opinions, but, unfortunately, like I said, I don't think we're going to be able to change it. I have nothing wrong with someone sitting here saying, go electric or do this or that. It's everyone has an opinion and a right, but there's probably more viable things that you can do, not to conserve fuel when you're driving, save trips. But I myself don't think that it's going to get any better while we try to keep going down these avenues and force everyone to go electric, because we don't have the infrastructure for it, for one. And I don't know that it's really all that much better of a avenue for it being clean by what it takes to get these batteries. But that's actually a good point as to what happens to the future of our sport. What do you think is going to happen to the future of our sport if the state of California goes to all electric vehicles in the future, Chaz? What do you think
they're worried.
They want
the carbon emissions to go down. It's a zero carbon deal that they're going after here. I've been trying to say it to a bunch of people that honestly, sprint car racing is the saving grace because it runs on methanol, which produces zero carbon emissions. We are a clean green racing vehicle. NASCAR's in trouble.
Exactly
Late models are in trouble.
That's not exactly true. They're not a zero clean emission
methanol produces no carbon.
Hang on, you're not looking from all sides here, bud.
I'm trying to sell it, all right?
Yeah, I know you're trying to sell it, but the problem is you need to be realistic. And that's one thing I've given you credit for, is you a lot of times kind of say things like it is. But when you use methanol, you use a larger percentage of methanol than you would gas.
Yes.
And I'll open a can of worms with this, but years ago, I didn't realize this till I got into late model racing. You realize all late models used to run methanol?
Yeah. Some of them, you can still, but it's not like, mainstream.
Okay, so why don't you have any clue why they don't?
No, I do not.
Well,
I could guess, but
because if you can run 5 or 10 gallons of gas all night, or you can run 80 gallons of methanol. Which one makes more sense, even if gas costs more?
Right, the gas. Yes,
so
I know that. Yes.
Which one's safer for the drivers to have on board? 10 gallons of gas or 40 gallons of freaking methanol? There's an upside to this.
But what about carbon emissions?
They both have carbon emissions, and I don't know what the level of carbon emissions is between the two, but you can't sit here and say that you don't have carbon emissions just because you can't see it. That's not fair to say.
But methanol doesn't have any oil-based product in it.
So does that mean there's no emissions?
I looked it up. The only reason they haven't considered methanol as a primary fuel source is because it would apparently make a lot of people go blind if it was used on that large of a scale, which we all can say that's very true, because when you stand behind a sprint car as it's idling there, you get pretty teary-eyed. So that's why it's not a mainstream option.
I just found out why I'm going blind right now.
I don't know. Sammy seems to see pretty good still, so.
Yeah, so does the King. So
so they're proving them wrong. So electronic vehicles, that's what we're going to. Tesla sprint cars then?
I'm asking you, man. I don't know. I'm just when I sit in here, we're going all electric vehicles by whatever it is, 35, 34. I don't know what year it is, but what does that say for racing down the road? Seriously, what are they going to do? You can bring your electric truck in, haul in your sprint car, and then they're going to let us go in circles and make noise? I don't think so.
Well, like I said, I really would like to try to encourage people to push, the methanol deal, because methanol, I'm looking it up right now, but from my research, is zero carbon emissions. So we have a very clean racing vehicle. I really do.
Well, I'd have to do a little research on it, but I don't know that I'd say it's zero carbon emissions. There's still emissions going into the air, and it's probably twice as much emissions as what any other vehicle would, because whatever fuel you burn is what you're going to get for emissions, correct?
Yes, I'm just looking it up right now. Go ahead.
If we run a 40-lap feature at Eldora and we burn 30 gallons of methanol, that's a little less than a gallon a lap, and that's a lot of emissions. So
I didn't know I would be.
If that was gas, it would probably be 8 gallons or something like that or less.
I didn't know I would be doing a research situation like a Joe Rogan on here, but that's good. That's fine. The methanol, apparently this has already been studied. Methanol is a plant-friendly energy source, or planet-friendly energy source. It reliance on carbon-emitting fuel or fossil fuels, reducing the reliance. Apparently,
it's a
the
planet-friendly or it's a
methanol
renewable
economy
resource?
is a concept that the Ola Prasco team first began refining in the mid-90s. It says that it's a wood alcohol. So, methanol has also been long prized by race car drivers for its higher octane on shorter tracks. So this whole article here is basically describing how a society on carbon or on methanol-based fuels would be a way to get back to a planet-friendly, low-carbon environment. It says the fossil fuel fight goes on. Storage based on methanol with no carbon emissions, apparently. So I was pretty sure I had that right. So 0 carbon emissions, methanol as a fuel.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we know that now.
Yeah, well, sprint cars are safe. I don't know about everybody else. Your late models are in trouble.
Well, how am I going to get my truck in the state of California when it burns diesel?
The Tesla semi truck just went 1,800 miles without a recharge. That was on the news.
How am I going to power anything in the trailer with my diesel generator?
I agree. It is pretty stupid for them to be trying to take fossil fuels off. It's just another tax money grab. That's all it is, a tax money grab.